Remnant 2 is doing very well. They had 100,000
Cool
people
game.
playing.
Remnant 2 is awesome.
Doing super well. Yeah.
Yep. Remnant 2, it pretty much improves in the base game in every way. It does make a couple decisions that some people aren't super jazzed about, especially pertaining to armor and stuff of that nature. But I loved it. I absolutely loved it. I even finished it and then went back and played it for like another stream just to like have fun camping, and I still may even go back and do some more.
Yeah.
But no, Remnant 2, man, it is solid. It is a solid game for sure.
Yeah. I didn't.
Solid.
We talked about it last week, so we won't spend too much time on it. But I did not go back and play it. I ended up watching. I think it might have been. I think it was Soda Poppin', and I just saw a couple more boss fights. Maybe I saw all the bad boss fights, but I didn't think the boss fight that I did, which was did you do like quote unquote all the boss fights? Do you see all the boss fights in a single run?
I have done probably like, no, you don't.
You don't? Okay.
Not unless you do adventure mode.
Got it.
But I've seen probably 70% of the bosses.
Okay, I did. So the one that I fought that I was complaining about last week was the sewer boss that has the orb that floats around, and then there's two orbs, and one of the orbs.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh,
so that's what I did as the dog
that was
character.
very, very frustrating.
Yes.
I had a very frustrating time with there are a few bosses in the game.
I saw all the bad ones then. Yeah.
That one is a frustrating fight, particularly with the ladders and the fact that it hits you on the ladders, and then you're expected to dodge in a small area and not fall in, but the camera doesn't show your feet. So it's there were some decisions in some of the bosses that breed frustration.
Yeah, that's a good way to say it. That's a good way to say it.
But there are also bosses that are just great. There are also bosses that are just awesome. The last boss is a trip, dude.
I heard that was good. Yeah.
The last boss is a trip. It is incredibly difficult, but it's that kind of difficult where you just kind of keep doing it and learn the patterns. And then you may notice a little thing that makes it easier, and then you may notice a little thing about the transitions that make it easier. Like, it gets to the point where it's just like, by the time you beat it, you're just like, yeah, that felt good. It's very much Elden Ring feeling in that in those regards, where it's like you fight the boss a couple times, and you're like, there's no way I am ever going to beat this boss while air is entering this mouth and these lungs. Like, it is just not. It is not a possibility in this realm of reality. And then 2 hours later, you're like, you beat it, and you're like, that was awesome. That felt good. You just make little progress every time, little progress. And yeah, it was very well done. Very well.
Nice. What did you end up swapping classes?
Yes, I ended up maining engineer, and then I would switch my subs around to war. I did some summoner. I had a summoner side that I was doing. I would go back to handler sometimes just for the passives because they were kind of good. I will say that there's some weird things about Remnant 2, especially pertaining. And granted, I was playing on Nightmare, so I think this was kind of accentuated. Okay. But it was a little bit strange because, like, I started as handler, and I played handler for a big majority of the game before I fundamentally understood that it's not a strong class. Like, compared to other, it's not a strong class. There are some boss fights that invalidate the class, same as summoner. And like, literally, like, if you're outside of using some of the passives, 90% of the class this is going to work because your pet's just going to get either one shot at the beginning or within it. So the problem with that is that it's good that there's adventure mode, but the length of time it takes to level up a new class to like viability, I mean, it's literally hours and hours and hours. Really? Sometimes like multiple adventure modes to get a class from 0 to like, I'd say between 5 and 10, which is when things kind of start to shine. 10 essentially is the max.
Okay.
And yeah, that'll take you like probably 3 to 5 adventure zones, I think, all the way through. And those can take a couple hours a piece. So I will say that it was a little, okay, people are saying you can farm 1 to 10 in 40 minutes. Yeah, you can if you like know exactly where to go and min max and you reset and do stuff like that. I'm talking about normal players. Come on now, slow down, Power Gamer. But yeah, it's the kind of thing where I did kind of get a little bit screwed because I definitely got to a point where like I clearly was relatively underpowered because I wasn't picking the right classes. I just happened not to be picking the right classes.
Yeah.
And that was a little unfortunate. Like, and I was, and the game does have some bugs, which, made the experience a little bit more difficult. But yeah, I mean, it was still awesome. Even with all that, it was still awesome. And it is an important disclaimer to say I was playing on Nightmare, which, is designed to be super difficult. So, it's.
And you were also playing solo. Because I
was playing Nightmare and solo.
Fun factor goes up for most people when you add friends into that game. From everyone that I've seen talk about it. So yeah, people are enjoying it. They've done some cool stuff as well. Like people started getting into the source code and that unlocked a class for everyone.
Archon.
Which is kind of a fun
So they
thing.
data mined the game.
Yeah.
And the data mine essentially showed that you needed to have
yeah.
this exact, or like you had to be wearing all of these proper items, and then this door would open in the labyrinth, which would then get you the Archon thing. You basically had to cosplay another character in the game.
Huh.
And the thing is some of those items required boss farming, some of them required beating the game. Like they're from all over the map and how you get the items. So it was a very interesting little community-driven discovery thing. Apparently, awesome. After it was data mined, the devs were like, "Yeah, we were expecting you guys to do this." So, kind of fun there.
That's good. I like that. I'm a fan of that.